Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I should know that by now. I always have to think what day it is, but this class is always on Wednesdays. We'll get started here in just a moment. Hopefully you have some water, a blanket, a towel, or a mat, something cushioned to a cushioned surface to be on during our movement today. All right, it is time to get started. Welcome everyone to our Wednesday Pilates class with Living Well. My name is Kourtney Bassett. I'll be with you to move for the next 45 minutes. And today we are going to focus on hip mobility. We'll do a little bit of glute work, possibly towards the end, maybe the middle. I don't know. We'll just throw it in when it feels good. And yeah, that's what you can expect. Probably a good amount of spinal mobility as well. So hip mobility, spinal mobility, and glute work are the goals for today. And we're going to go ahead and get started with our breath. So sitting up nice and tall, whatever seated, comfortable position feels right for you. I want you to find that now. Legs could be extended. You could even be in a chair if that feels right. Just begin to roll the shoulders back and down the spine. Sitting up a bit taller, creating more space between your rib cage and the floor below. We'll take another big inhale through the nose. Feel the belly press out with air. And then as we exhale, feel that belly pull back in towards your spine. Sinking into this relaxing belly breath. Again, inhale, feel the belly pressing out with air. Exhale, pull that belly button back in towards the spine, getting taller and taller. And from there, begin to transition into our rib cage breath. So when we breathe here, we could even take our hands to our rib cage. Inhaling, we'll feel those hands expand out. And exhale, pulling it back in. Inhale, press the rib cage out. Exhale, bring the ribs in towards the spine. Continuing that. This is hopefully a bit more of an energizing breath with you feeling that expansion and then decompression of the ribs. And one more time. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, release. Roll those shoulders back and down the spine again. From here, we'll drop one ear over towards one shoulder. I think we did this last week. We'll compare at the end of class just to see if we feel like we have more range of motion or more mobility at the end of class through these muscles in our neck and our shoulder. Drop the chin down towards the floor. Let the eye gaze follow. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, reach the head and eye gaze towards the ceiling. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, take the head over to the opposite side of the room. Letting gravity pull your chin down towards the floor. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, reach your chin up towards the ceiling. As you release, the head comes back to center. We'll roll the shoulders around again, starting to really warm up those shoulders. Let's take a big inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring those hands back down by your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release down. 2 more. Inhale, arms overhead. This time, exhale, rotate, twisting to the right. Just a gentle rotation of the spine. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, rotate to the left. Paying attention to how those hips feel. If they're starting to feel really tight, I want us to just be mindful of that. No judgment. Maybe we try to relax that area, create less tension there. We'll do 1 more rotational breath in each direction. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, rotate. Inhaling back overhead, we come to center. Fantastic. All right, let's start to work on that hip mobility. Hands come back behind us. We're bringing our feet or our legs into something called a Z-sit. So 1 shin bone is out to the side. We're creating a 90-degree angle at both of our knees here. Hands back behind us. We just gently rock the knees from one side of the room to the other. If you've been with me before, you have heard me talk time and time again about the importance of our internal and external hip mobility and strength. As we age, it becomes crucially important to maintain that hip mobility and hip and glute strength so that we can walk. If we happen to fall, our recovery time can, potentially be much better if we have more mobile hips and stronger glutes and legs. And that all comes into play with our core as well. So we do lots of core work in Pilates. And those of you who were with me last week, I talked about how Pilates looks a little different for me right now, considering I'm in the 3rd trimester of this pregnancy. And so the core work we do will be really breathing focused from here until I go out on maternity leave, which hopefully will get me to the end of this semester. All right, leave your knees reaching in this direction. We're gonna sit up tall. I'll rotate towards you so you can see me. All right, 1 shin bone reaching forward, the other out to our side. Our hand comes off to the side. I want us to work on that internal hip mobility. So we internally rotate at the hip. When we do that, our heel elevates off of the ground. Keep the knee connected with the floor below. If you're starting to feel that like cramping sensation here through the hip, you'd always come down to your elbow, just opening up through the side body here, excuse me, and continue that internal rotation and mobility of the hip. So you all keep that moving. I saw someone else join us, so I'll make sure that they get added to our participation list in just a minute. We'll do 2 and 1. Hold it lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Hands come back behind us, and we'll gently sway the knees from side to side again. Just going back into that mobility. Now, the leg that you just did that internal mobility on, how does it feel? Is it moving a little bit more smoothly? I hope it is. Mine is. So I'm hopeful that you're experiencing something similar. 1 more time. Weave the knees over to the opposite side of the room. Again, I'll face you so that you can see. 1 shin bone is straight on in front of us. The other comes out to the side. Our hand is to the side of our body. We internally rotate at the knee, at the hip. Knee stays down. Yes, remember that option of coming to our elbow. I may just open up this side body a little bit more, giving a greater range of motion. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Nice, simple movements here. Belly is strong. Breathing nice and simply. We'll do 4, 3, and our last 2, or our last 1 rather. I want us to hold that leg lifted. We hold it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The ankle comes down. We'll lift ourselves back up. Hands come back behind us again. And I just want you to sway from side to side. Any differences? Hopefully so. If not, that's okay. We're continuing to be a work in progress. All right. From here, let's come on to those bottoms. Knees are bent, hands behind the hamstrings. You can keep your knees or your feet as close to one another as you prefer. Sitting up really tall, sort of moving through that spinal articulation, rounding through the spine. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, scoop through the pelvis, rounding the shoulders away from one another. One more time. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, we roll down bone by bone by bone. From here, gently let the knees sway from side to side. Notice how that feels on the low back. When we're ready, we'll slowly start to extend the legs all the way across the mat. Right leg reaches out to 45 degrees. We're moving into our leg circles, so still working on that hip mobility. Hopefully now that our hips have mobilized a little bit, this feels nice and seamless as we trace our toe around that imaginary dinner plate size circle. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it. Continue to press your left heel into the mat. The spine gets long as the crown of the head reaches behind us. Shoulders are connected with the mat. We have 3, 2, and 1. Bending that right knee into the chest. Slowly let the knee come outside of the body. Roll out through the ankle. Good. Let's move into our large beach ball size circle. Right leg extend back up towards the ceiling. Flex through the foot. Bring the leg across the body and around. 3, 2, and 1 more time. At the top of this circle, reverse it. The leg goes outside of the body, across and up. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. At the top, the knee bends into the chest. Once again, slide the leg outside of the body for a little inner thigh stretch. And we seamlessly transition to the other side. The right leg extends out. Left leg floats to that ceiling, 45 degrees out. And we start with our small dinner plate size circle. Again, can you draw your belly button towards the spine? Get that core engagement. Shoulders stay down. We have space between our chin and the chest. We'll do 3, 2, and 1. From there, we reverse it, taking that leg out around the neck. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bending that left knee into the chest. Slide the leg outside of the body. Find that inner thigh stretch. Maybe even roll out through your ankle. When you're ready, left knee comes back into center. Flex the foot, extend the leg towards the ceiling. Bring it across the body and around for those large beach ball size circles. We've got 2 more in this direction. And then at the top, reverse it. Take the leg around and up. 2, and 1. Bend that knee in, finalizing that inner thigh stretch by sending the knee out to the side of the room. And coming back to center. All right, both feet find themselves right in line with our hips. Hands come down by our side. Press all 10 toes towards the mat. Activate through the glutes and then lift the hips up towards the ceiling for a glute bridge. We're sliding the hips up, lowering them down, keeping this nice deep connection through the body. We're pressing it up, lowering down, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. 3 more. 2. And final time, let's hold those hips lifted. Create that space between your chin and the chest. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The knees, hips come down, and the knees swing from side to side. Just a gentle rotation, let gravity pull you into it. Nothing forced. One more time, take those legs up and over. As you release the knees towards the ceiling, let's bring the right knee to the chest. From there, we'll use that right leg to roll ourselves up, or if you're like me, maybe just come onto one side and then press up. All these fun ways of getting up off the ground. All right, so once we're up off of the ground, I want us to find a comfortable seated position. I love the L-sit for this. In our L-sit, when we move into spine stretch forward, we always have the option of bending our knees or lifting our hips a little bit higher. So you could slide a pillow or a blanket or just fold your mat over under your hips in order to get a little bit of an elevated surface here. All right, shoulders come back and down the spine. Arms float forward. Take an inhale through the nose. Exhale, roll your forehead down towards those knees. And then lift it back up bone by bone by bone. We're making a big rainbow over those thighs. You can even imagine that you're rolling your spine forward over an imaginary beach ball. As you do that, can you reach your fingertips forward? Shoulder blades press forward. As we lift back up, the shoulders retract. They pull back in towards the spine. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll that spine forward. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, stack it back up. Let's do one more. Beautiful. All right, slide those hands to opposite walls. We rotate, then roll down. Reach for the outside of the foot, so for that pinky toe. Lift yourselves back up, rotate to the other side of the room. Roll down, reach for that pinky toe, and lift up. Good. So we're moving through saw. Getting that expansion from one set of fingers to the other. Rotate, roll down, reach that back palm, rotate so that it faces the ceiling. One more in each direction, rotate, roll down, reach. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Coming up nice and tall, roll out through those shoulders. All right, we're moving into our side lying work. So coming and allowing our mat to unfold if we had it folded. We'll flip onto our side, aligning our spine with the very back edge of our mat. Feet come forward to the front corner of the mat. You can let your head cradle with your arm. All right, top leg is going to lift as high as the top of this leg and then come back down. Good, up and lower. Inhale, lift the leg, exhale, bring it back down, finding that connection with the inner thigh. Notice how the hips and shoulders are stacked, one on top of the other. The belly is still engaged and strong. Our eyes are looking forward. We've got this impeccable posture here. 3, 2, and 1. Hold that leg lifted. Pulse it towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Externally rotate. Take your toes to the ceiling. Heels come down. Lower and lift. Good. I told you guys we were going to work on internal and external hip mobility. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This time, toes to the floor, heel to the ceiling. Tap the toes down, lift it up, tap, and lift. 4, 3, two, and last one, hold it lifted, pulse it 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That leg sweeps forward. Give yourselves a little bit of myofascial release. From here, keep that top knee lifted and in line with your top hip, bottom leg lifts and lowers. Looking through those inner thighs. Good, that top arm can be in front of us to help us stabilize here. We'll do 4, 2, and 1. Hold it lifted, pulse that leg towards the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Point the bottom toe. Actively circle that bottom leg around an imaginary quarter. Fourth off the 3, 2, and 1. Reverse it. Taking that leg circle from the hip, we have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic job. All right, from here, going into something a little different, we'll come up onto our elbow. Bottom leg comes forward. Back leg is behind us. So it looks like that Z-sit position. Good. Now from here, from that elbow, I want you to press your hips up, shine your shirt forward, and let your top hip press forward. All right, so we're staying square through the chest. Stay lifted. It's like a side bridge. I'll change my shirt so you can see what that looks like. Our glute is lifted off of the ground, holding it. 3, 2, and 1. Release. We're going to do that 2 more times. So we're getting into that oblique work. We're also activating through those hips as we do this. We're going to keep the front of our shirt shining straight forward. Let's take off in 3, 2, 1. Lift up. Good. Holding that glute nice and active. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Good. All right, we have 1 more. How are we feeling? Hopefully good. Starting to breathe a little heavy here. The work is intense but meaningful. Let's go up. All right, hips are lifted. Press that knee down, shine that hip forward. Shirt is facing in front of us. Shoulders are stacked. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good. Bring those knees together. As you lift yourselves up, come over into a side bend. Fantastic. Release. All right, legs come around to the other side of our mat. You can do a little break dance if you're quick enough to do one. I'm still not there these days. Might be slow to break dancing for the next couple of months. All right, as we come down onto our side, our spine is aligned with the back edge of the mat. Head gets to cradle in that arm. Feet are forward at the front corner of our mat, so we've got that slight angle in our body. Top leg lifts and lowers. Good. Remember, your eyes are looking forward. Your spine is in that beautiful alignment here. Check in with yourselves. Are your shoulders stacked, one on top of the other? What about your hips? I always like to say, if somebody was looking at you from above, they would only see one shoulder, one hip, one knee, and one ankle. So see if that's true. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Top leg stays lifted. Pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Externally rotate. Toes to the ceiling. Heels come down. Lower and lift. Finding that external work through the hip. We have 5, 3, and last one. Hold it lifted. Pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take the toes towards the floor, heels towards the ceiling, tap and lift. Toes come down, heel comes up, down and up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Top leg pulses towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend that top knee forward. Give yourselves that myofascial release that I know you have earned. All that great work. Top knee stays lifted. It's in line with our top hip. And we'll move to our bottom leg. Just simply lifting and lowering that bottom leg. Hold it lifted, pulse it towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now point that bottom toe. Tracing the big toe along the outside of your imaginary golf ball. All the movement comes from the hip. 3, 2, 1, and reverse it opposite direction. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that leg down. All right, from here, we're coming up onto that elbow. Bottom knee bends forward. Top knee bends and faces out in front of us. Remember, we're going to keep that shirt shining straight forward in front of us. Lift your hips now. Lift those hips. Yes. Pressing into that knee. Hold the hips lifted. Oh yeah, I feel it on this side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Great job. Remember, we have 2 more of these. 3 total on each side. I don't know if I said this on the other side, but we do this for 15 seconds, which is not incredibly long, but it's just enough to really feel the work. So we take off again in 3, 2, 1, lift up. Pressing that knee into the mat, hip comes forward, chest stays open. And you have 5 seconds. Don't come down until I tell you. Hold it, hold it. Now release. Beautiful. Adjust whatever you need. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. We take off again in 5, 4, 3, 2, and up we go. Lifting nice and tall. Open up through that chest. I know it's easy to pull that top shoulder forward. You have 5 seconds. Don't come down yet. Don't do it. Now you can release. Beautiful. Knees come one on top of the other. Folding over for our side body stretch. Fantastic. All right, let's come over into quadruped. So cartwheeling those hands over. We're going to allow for our knees to be right under our hips, hands right under our shoulders. Go ahead, tuck your toes under. I want you to feel a lovely little stretch through the bottom of your foot. We'll start today by shifting the hips back and then shifting the shoulders forward. So we send it back, feel that stretch through the feet, and then come forward, stretch through the forearms. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. We'll do one more, press back, pressing forward. From here, begin to round the spine up, moving through cat and cow. Hold your breath, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. As the belly drops towards the floor, let your sits bones and your eye gaze look for opposite walls. As we round the spine up, think about letting your shoulder blades reach away from one another. One more time, drop the belly through. And then round that spine up. From here, we'll find a nice long neutral spine, sliding the right arm forward and the left leg back. When you're ready, let that left leg come off the mat, find your spinal stability or spinal balance. Release hand and knee towards the floor. The left hand reaches forward, the right leg slides back. Activate through that glute, find your spinal balance on this other side. Good, let's continue that. Opposite arm, opposite leg, reaching for opposite ends of the room. Good, as we transition from side to side, we want that transition to be as seamless as possible. Keep the core engaged. Let your eyes look towards the fingertips. Inhale, reach. Exhale, come down. One more on either side. All right, so we're going to do that again, but we're adding to it. So this time, right arm and left leg extend for opposite walls. Then we actively slide that hand and foot out to the diagonal. Come back to center, then release. There you go. So an added balance challenge. Left arm, right leg, reach for opposite walls. Then slide that hand and foot out to opposite directions or opposite corners of your room. Back to center, release down. Continue, right arm, left leg. Slide to the diagonal. Come back to center. And release. Left arm, right leg, reach. Extend out. Roll to center. And down. One more on either side. Right arm, left leg. Take it to the diagonal. Find center. All the way back to quadruped. Final time. Take it out to that diagonal. Find the corners of the room. Reach, reach, reach. Back to center. And down. Great job. Give yourselves a little break here. Knees slide apart, toes together. Hands reach out in front of us. Head reaches forward. We'll find a nice little rest pose. An opportunity to roll out through our wrists. And a little stretch through the hips and the arms. And just bring your awareness back to your breath. All right, slowly coming up and out of our rest pose. Knees come back under our hips. You can be in quadruped here for a little bit of glute work, or we could come down to our elbows, whatever you prefer. I want you to find another great option. If your wrists are fatigued, you could make fists with the arm or with the wrist. All right, so we're sliding our right leg back behind us. Actively lift and lower that right foot off of the ground. Lift and lower. Right, so I told you all we do a good amount of glute work today. Hips are square to the floor below. 4 more. 2 and 1. From here, bend your heel towards your glute. Extend it back out. Bend the knee. Heel comes towards the bottom. We'll do that 2 more times. Out and in, out and in. Fantastic. Now with that knee bent, pulse your heel towards the ceiling. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That knee comes down. From here, we're going to take the right knee outside of our body, and I'll actually show you this side what it looks like. It looks like this. Good. Working through that external rotation of the hip. Stabilizing through the torso. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and last one. Bringing it down, we shift to the other side. Roll out your wrist if you need to. Take a little breather of any sort. Grab water if you need. We're going to set back up into quadruped. Left leg comes back behind us. Lift and lower that leg here. Right knee is stacked right over the hip. Our eye gaze is looking to our fingertips. Good. Make sure that those shoulders are still square. We have 4, 3, 2, and last one. Hold the leg lifted. Bend your heel towards your glute. Extend out. Keep that stability through the upper body. Extend and bend the knee. One more time, out and in. Hold that 90-degree angle at the knee. Pulse your foot towards the ceiling. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. As the knee comes down, we set up for that work. External. Take it out to the side and release. Out to the edge. Bring it back in. 3, 2, and 1. As you come down, let those knees fall wide. Once again, toes together. Send your hands forward. Roll out through those wrists. Give them a little break. Make some fists with your hands. Whatever you need to do. And we'll just breathe. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, slowly roll your sides up. All right, the last thing that we have today is that hip mobility. So we're going to start back in that quadruped position. I'm going to start this way. We're going to take the knees about as wide as our mat. Toes are going to be tucked under. We shift the hips back, and then come forward. I'll show you about the distance apart. So our knees are a little bit further apart than our hips. We sink back and press forward. All right. So I just want you to move here through this. We'll do 4 more. Keep those toes down. Feel that work happening through the inner thighs. 2. And last one, press back. As we come up, slide your foot out to the side. Just one of those legs to the side of the room. Toes are facing forward as best as possible. May not be perfect, that's okay. Send your hips straight back and come forward. Now remember, this is that really big inner thigh stretch that helps with our hip mobility. We'll do 3, 2. One more time. Slide the hips back. As they come forward, we'll bring that knee back to center. Shift back into this stretch. Do you notice a difference from one leg to the other? Maybe more mobility in that one that we just got the deep stretch in. All right, come back up to quadruped. Opposite leg slides out to the side of the room. Press those hips back and come forward. Good. Just again, slide the hips back. Coming forward, we have 3 more. Continue to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. 2. And 1. Press back. Come on forward. Take those knees back to that same quadruped position. Press back. We've got 2 more. Just see if there's a difference. 2. And 1. Fantastic. All right. As we come up, I want us to find a kneeling position. So one knee will stay down. One leg comes up. All right. Now, actively scoop your pelvis under. Feel that glute engage as well. And we're going to feel this hip open up here. You're going to reach both of those arms towards the ceiling. If you want more of a lateral stretch, you could bend your body towards the knee in front of you. And then come back up. We'll release. And we'll do that one more time. Again, scoop through the pelvis. Feel your glute activate. You could even reach those arms overhead. Dropping your body towards the side of the room with that extended knee. And then come up tall. Fantastic. From here, bring your hands forward, getting a nice anterior stretch at that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let's press it back up or switch knees, which I'm going to do. I'm going to take that right leg behind me. Left leg comes forward. I'll use it as leverage to lift up. Once we get onto the other side, we scoop through the pelvis. Feel that glute activate, opening up through the front of the hip. Both arms can reach overhead for a deeper stretch. And then we can bend to the side of the room. Really opening up through that side body. And release. We'll do that one more time. Relax briefly. Take an inhale. Exhale, scoop through the pelvis. Feel the glute engage. Reach the arms overhead. Slowly drop into that side body stretch. Fantastic. Lift yourselves up out of it. Hands come forward. We're going to bring the form of those hands as we sink into that anterior stretch of the hip. Big inhale through the nose. And then exhale. Take that leg back behind you. All right, we finished today in your favorite push-up position. All right, so whatever that favorite push-up position is, hands are right under the shoulders. We have 6 tricep push-ups, all right? So take off at your own pace for those 6 tricep push-ups, elbows sweeping right past our rib cage every time. And as soon as you're done with your 6 tricep push-ups, send yourselves back into that beautiful rest pose where our knees are apart, toes are together. We sink down into a nice stretch. We're going to roll out through the wrists and just breathe. Another big inhale through the nose as you exhale, roll yourselves up. Coming into our favorite seated position, maybe what we started with at the beginning of class. We'll do another little assessment of our shoulders and our neck. The shoulders back. So I know today's focus really was hips, inner and outer thighs, but some of the work that we did probably still had a really great impact on the shoulders and the neck. So let's see if there's any difference. Drop your ear over to one shoulder. Did it feel easier or simpler to fall into that stretch? Come up and over to the other side. Beautiful. As the head comes up, we'll breathe. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, rotate. How does that rotation feel compared to the beginning of class? Inhale. Exhale. One more time. As we come center, bring both arms down, roll the shoulders back, close the eyes, and start to settle in to only your breath. Nothing else moving, just the breath. A few more times. Fantastic job today, you guys. Thanks so much for being here with me. I hope you enjoyed our class today. If you have questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Again, my name is Kourtney Bassett. I oversee the Living Well program. And like I said at the beginning, this class will be here until this baby comes. So hopefully I get to make it until December, like I'm supposed to. So I'll see you back every Wednesday. Until then, otherwise, you all have a fantastic rest of your week. And I'll see you next time. Take care.